Hey guys, welcome back to Amanda's Favorites, where I have videos every week, usually on Tuesdays at noon. I share my own personal planning here. I also share very detailed planner reviews to help you make the best decision on your next planner, to find what fits you in your life, in your season right now, and what resonates with the way you like to plan and the way your brain works. I am all about trying to help you. I also have a lot of discount codes from a lot of companies and affiliate links, which you can use if my videos help you. And that is very helpful to me to be able to keep this channel going. Today's video is all about golden coil. So I have an entire golden coil playlist here on YouTube where most of these planners, not all of them, the most recent ones I don't have videos on, but most of them I've gone into detail on each one of these planners, on how I've used it, also about just how to build a golden coil and everything that golden coil has to offer. They are a customizable planner company. So your planner is printed on demand. You choose your layout, you choose extra pages, you choose where those pages go. If they go in between the week, every week you can add an extra page, or every month you can add extra pages up front or in the back. You basically design your entire planner from front to back. You can also input iCal events or Google Cal events. You can choose your holidays package or have no holidays listed. You can choose Sunday or Monday start on your monthly only. There are just a lot of options. Your coil size that you get is based on the number of pages that you choose to put in your planner. They do have a max number of pages. So in this video, we're not going to go into detail all of that golden coil has to offer. I just kind of wanted to give a quick little summary there because I do that in all my other golden coil videos. This video, I am going to try to keep pretty fast moving for you. I'm going to show you every layout and then talk about how I use that layout, how it worked for me, what extra pages I might have added in on some of them. I might be able to go in and share that, but most of that will be all in my detailed reviews. This is just to go over every single golden coil layout that I've ever had. I have a huge stack here. I'm going to have to count how many I have. I am so blessed to be able to work with golden coil and be able to build and use these planners. And most recently, I built a really special notebook that I am going to use for my goal planning for the next several years. And I just had a video come out on that last week, all about what I built and put in there, how I'm going to use it for my goal planning. Why am I choosing to say I'm going to stay in one single notebook for my goal planning projects, etc., for several years? So that's all in last week's video. I will link that down in the description. And before we go any further, I want to let you know that I do have a discount code for golden coil. It is Amanda10, so it's not my normal code. It's Amanda10, and it is only good through February 9th. I got it for that last recent goals video coming out. It only extended through February 9th, so I decided to throw this video in right after it because this is a video I've been wanting to do. And so I know you only have a couple days left to use the code, but I just wanted to let you know about that. It actually only applies to a planner though, not building a notebook. I'm not sure why with them. They didn't give me an explanation on that, but it only applies 10% off to building a planner. And I have no affiliate link, so you don't have to worry about that. Of course, I will link you to the Golden Coil website down here, but it's not an affiliate link. I truly love Golden Coil and I share and use what I love here. I am going to move all these off and we're going to start in no particular order. But before we start, I'm going to get one of each of their kind of covers and talk about the three different kind of covers. These are the three different kind of covers that Golden Coil offers. They have artist covers, they have vegan leather covers, and they have linen covers that are coated. I have used many of each one of these and loved them all. I honestly don't see a positive or negative to either one, other than just the feel of it and what you prefer. So when there have been amazing artist covers like this one, their artist covers only come around for about a year, and I'm not sure if that's the exact right length, and then they're gone. So this one is absolutely amazing. I'm sorry, I don't know who the artist is on it. This cover is not even up on their site anymore. Look how good it looks with the mustard yellow. I love mustard yellow. So each one, whatever cover you get, you have the same inside, just off-white end pages on your planner. I have added Passion Planner tabs to some of mine, the ones that I need tabs on. A lot of times for what I'm using them for, like I don't add tabs to them, but a lot of them I have added tabs to. Passion Planner has tabs that work out great. They hold up well. They come in like simple, like rose gold, gold, silver that I have liked. Many other companies make tabs, so choose what you like. You know, Erin Condren makes tabs. There's tabs all over on Amazon from numerous different companies. There are tabs from Hemlock and Oak makes tabs. Mom Agenda makes tabs. I'm just trying to think in my head. There are a lot of companies that make tabs. I just happen to love the Passion Planner ones on here. Ashley Shelley's new tabs look about this size, so they would probably work really well on here too. I haven't tried them, but the Passion Planner ones line up perfectly, that the size of the tab lines up to let you see the entire year at once and you don't have any overlapping. I do have a $5 off your first Passion Planner purchase, and I will pop that down below for you. And these just happen to match this cover perfect. All your coils on Golden Coil are this gold matte color. The artist covers have a really smooth feel. The vegan leather covers have a smooth feel too, but a tiniest bit of texture in there if you can see it. So it's not just completely smooth. You feel a tiny bit of texture. I love the feel of the vegan leather. I don't mind the feel of the artist cover. It just doesn't have texture. It's smooth. It feels good in hand. It definitely is coated in something so that if you spill on it, it is going to be A-okay. And then the linen covers, you can hear, they have a texture. They are coated so that if you spill something, they're protected. And I do love the vibrant colors that they rotate colors on these too. So they're not always the same ones up there. But I love the colors. I can't wait to get in and talk about all these layouts and how I've used them. So I would say that the linen cover feels a tiny bit thicker, just the tiniest bit because of the linen, but not drastically at all. You might be able to see it here. You might not, but they each feel nice in their own right. And they've all served me well and done really well. I think all three of these coils are about the same size because I generally pick around the same size of book. Here's one. Here's my new goals one. That's a thicker coil. You can tell. Your coil size, it's all listed on their site what coil size you will get based on page number. So if you're someone that likes a really small planner or if you're someone that likes a really chunky planner, you can look at that page size per coil size and you can decide how many pages you want to add. You can tell that some of these are a lot more bulkier than others. And in my goals one, you can see I've used 4 of their bookmarks in here to mark different sections. In my goals one, I would definitely say pick up one of their bookmarks. If you're ordering, they fit great in the page. They pop in and out well. You just go one down in their page and boom, if it's the exact length of your page, it's gold foiled on there and works perfectly to just pop up a tiny bit in your book and help you find parts of it. All right, we're going to start. All right, we're starting in no particular order. I'm just going to grab from the stack. This one looks like I used it in 2022, and I was using this one all for gratitude. So I wrote some quotes and lots of things about gratitude up front. I did put a year at a glance in here. I didn't really keep up with it for much. I did put this year at a glance, doing like a house clean out in here and mapping stuff out for that. And I did want to try this cool year-long habit tracker. I did not keep up with it. What the premise I was doing this year was each month I would have a different kind of quirky habit, like give everyone in my family a hug that day, go outside in the morning before I did anything else, like get morning light, different things like that are not in like my norm, but focus on something different for every month. But as you can see, I only kept track of really 2 months there. And then I had this project page that I added that I actually used as months. I use these Erin Condren monthly stickers in there. And so let's look. I also added this bucket list page, which more I did it as a not what I wanted to do, but what did I get done? Some big wins that year, some big great things. I also added this reading list page for that year. And I did not stay in this planner the whole year. I did add some graph grid pages up front, and then it looks like I jumped right in to January. I had picked a Sunday start on my monthly here. You have a choice of Sunday or Monday start. And this is the layout that I picked. I'm going to just flip through some of my used pages so you can see I'm a very functional planner. And I have always enjoyed all my time in Golden Coil. This was actually one of my favorite layouts to use. And how far in the year did I use it? Wow. Yeah, it looks like I used it all the way until September this year. I mean, like 2 weeks skip there, but all the way into September. That is long for me to stay in one planner other than Erin Condren for my weekly. I really did like this weekly layout. And now I remember looking at it, I actually did my goals in here this year too. So I just did that's what all the front tracker sheets were about too, and the mapping out, the cleaning out different parts of the house, because I have that here. And I called them my possibilities for the year instead of goals. I did my mind map, and I did like a second mind map, probably 1 or 2 quarters in. And I just took notes back here. I put those extra pages. It comes with 1 pocket in every Golden Coil. This one was 160 pages, which made it 8140. And I wrote down this is sections 2 layout. So I don't have written that down in every planner, but I did write it down in this one. It's sections 2, and let's look at a blank one so you can see what this one. So I use this for my weekly planning, and like I said, for my goals, for everything for this year, all the way from January through September. I loved this one. Now I remember I got a similar layout to try this year. I'll show you. It's just a tiny bit off. We'll do that one next since it's this layout, but a tiny bit different. But I really do think this is one of my favorite weekly layouts for me that I've ever gotten from Golden Coil. So let's try to go where I haven't written in a page. You have Monday through Saturday, Sunday, not very much space per day, but enough to maybe put 3 key things for the day, like appointments or the top things you want to do. Saturday and Sunday are combined. That was a bit small for me, but I dealt with it and I stayed in here. And their big header is not wasted on me, because actually I always love using that big header for putting a little bit of washi for decoration and then putting like my top 3 for the week a lot of times. So you'll notice, I mean, sometimes I did washi, sometimes I drew up there, but a lot of times I had a top 3 for the week up there as like my guide. And then you had a big section for list room. You could even divide it into 2 categories without even having to flip the page. Basically, your whole week and your list is like on 1 page next to you. And if I wanted to flip, I could carry over a list or kind of like mapping out the week or even do meal planning. Anything I needed on this dot grid page, I loved, because I'm all about give me the open space and let me design what I need. I love just the open dot grid space there. You can see I used it some weeks, and other weeks I didn't use the space at all. But I loved that it was there for any time I wanted to use that space. And then other times, as you can see, I never felt pressure to use the space. This was definitely one of my favorite weekly layouts and used for a long amount of time for my weekly planner and my goal planning for that year. And I'm pretty sure I have a full review video up on YouTube of this. I'm going to link down there my Golden Coil playlist, so you can go straight there and you can just look for the cover that you're interested in. Yeah, I know I have a full YouTube video on this one. So we're going to move on, and we're going to have to move a little bit faster, but obviously I love sitting here and looking and reminiscing and talking about these. And you can bet that after this video today, I'm going to be using my Golden Coil, because I really, truly love the feel of them, love being in them. Some of the coils, this one's a little knocked out just because I've been piling them like randomly down there and not really being careful, but it's easy to move your coil like back into place. And I've never had issues. Now, I haven't had to take mine in and out of the house. I never have to stick it in and out of a bag. I will say that. But I've never had coil problems with my Golden Coil because I just keep them at home. So this one is the one I built for this year. So there's no full video on this yet. I put some extra pages up front, and I did start to use it a little bit. And I have not decided what I'm going to be in this year for my weekly planner. If you follow me on Instagram, you have seen the conundrum there. But after seeing how well that that last layout worked and I picked a similar, I think I'm going to jump back in here. So I picked a really similar layout for this year in my golden coil. As you can see, I've been testing it and using it, except for I do wish, and I will say I put a graph grid page in after every month. So after every monthly layout, just for extra room for the month, for monthly lists or anything, I have a graph grid page. And then it goes into my weeks. I've been doing these lines with tombos for kind of like any appointments or my top 3 for the day. So counting appointments, what are my top things for that day? Saturday and Sunday are stacked, but as you'll see in this one, your days are bigger than in this one. So you have less of a list room on this side. So it's basically the same layout, but it's a little different. And I remembered how much I loved this layout. So I thought I would try this one with a little bit more room per day. Less list room down here, but lists can carry over to here. I probably would prefer just the blank dot grid over here again, but they don't have that available with this layout. So I'm going to see how I use priorities. I probably won't use the priorities over here because I put my priorities up here. I like to see them on this page. I'm not always going to be flipping here to see my priorities. Gratitudes, I do love thinking of gratitudes for the week and just writing them in there. Meal planning, I don't meal plan in my planner generally. So I might think of something else to use that for. I don't generally habit track in my planner. Sometimes it's off and on for small habits because my big habits, I do a yearly habit trackers and I have all about that in my goals video. I will link that down in the description in my goals video from this year, in my goals video from last year, and probably even in this yellow covered goals video, I talked about it. So that is the layout for this year. Let's see how it goes. Let's see if I end up loving this and staying in it as much as I did this golden one. So I think the fun thing about golden coil is that you get to look through all their layouts. And I would say they still don't have my exact weekly layout that I would want. That favorite layout, you guys have seen me manipulate the mom agenda to make that layout. But I would love that in a golden coil, even though it's a coiled book. And right now I'm loving that layout in a bound book, but I would love that layout in a golden coil too. So this one I can't show you. I think, let me see. Yeah, this one I used for content planning. So I can't show you the beginning pages up front, but I can show you for like 3 years in a row, I used this same layout for content planning and it worked so well for me. I also think it could work well for me just for my, like, as a weekly planner. I just haven't really used it for that, although it looks like I was kind of testing it out here where I didn't use it at the very end of this year. And I was testing it out for like a normal weekly layout. How would I feel with that? I think this layout could work for me for that too. But I've used this layout for content planning for like 3 years until just this end of this last year, I moved into Laurel Denise because it really is helpful for me to see the whole month view at the same time as my week. But I would just write my week's content on here. It was always really messy and functional. I was on vacation that week. Some weeks were messier than others. The beginning pages are just a lot of content planning. I put in some project pages and charts and stuff. So I can put information about sponsored videos and stuff like that up there and dates. So I'm not going to show those beginning pages, but just know if you build a planner for anything, for content planning, for whatever, you can pick from their like tons of different pages. They have pages for health, pages for wellness, pages for goal tracking, pages for groceries, pages for homeschooling. They have pages for everything. You can add in and put them anywhere you want in your planner. I generally didn't plan content for Saturday and Sunday, so that would be blank. So I would just see this one side, which worked well for me. And sometimes I use the weekly list, for things I need to do, and sometimes I didn't. That's okay. I didn't need to utilize that page, and this worked perfect for me for what I needed. Once again, those are Passion Planner tabs. And so this is one I used for content planning. Let's see what this one is. I think this is one of my newer ones, that I don't have a whole video up on YouTube yet about. And this is 2324. This one is 176 pages, question mark. It's 8440, the way I built it, because you build up to a certain point for a certain price. And then any pages you add on after that are something like, 10, 20 cents a page. Or paper, I haven't even mentioned the paper, is exactly like Erin Condren. It is 80-pound Mohawk paper with the same tooth as Erin Condren, the same texture, but it is a cream color. So let me grab my Erin Condren here. I just happen to have an hourly next to me that I was out and looking at and playing in. So you can see the paper color. Erin Condren is white. Golden Coil is cream. It is not extremely cream or yellow to me at all. I don't mind it at all. A cream paper is supposed to be easier on your eyes. And when I'm using it, it doesn't bother me at all. But you know yourself if an off-white paper bothers you. So you will know. And I want to make sure you know that. Also, something to make sure you know. I'm not sure if I can reach my Frixion pen. Frixion pen does not do well in Golden Coil. So that is something else to know. Let's see. This one isn't one that has a lot of writing in. This one, and see if we can just do some Frixion pen writing. And if you go to erase it, my whole mic is shaking. Hopefully it's not sounding too bad. But as you can see, it kind of blurs your line a tiny bit. It goes into your Golden Coil line because they explained this to me. It's a different printing than when you print in big batches. Since this is print on demand and each planner is printed right then, one page at a time for whatever you ordered, it's a different kind of ink. And I don't remember the specifics on that, but it is going to kind of erase your ink and smear it. So if you are a huge Frixion pen user, see, it's erasing the day and completely smearing that ink. If you're a Frixion pen user, I still think you could use Frixion pens in here. Just don't like erase on the line or just don't erase the day of the week. I still think you could use it. You would have to be okay with like the lines kind of erasing if you're erasing near a line like that and smearing. So I guess I've never used Frixion pen in here for that reason. I don't know how you would feel about that, but that's something you should know too, since this is such an expensive planner, since you get to choose everything on it. So let's chat about this one. Year at a glance up front. Dot grid. I'm very simple in the pages I add because I don't like a lot of boxes to check. Blank pages. I like blank things for me. So obviously I did friction testing there too. That's what it does. But this one, yes, I do love to add washi and stickers to their pages. Those are some Laurel Denise stickers, washi. I think that's from Planner Perfect. This one is an interesting layout that I just didn't end up jiving with yet. But I love having these layouts even unused because when I'm having kind of a planner time where I'm like, oh, I just feel like I need something different, I can pull out all these layouts that have some blank weeks and I test my schedule in them. I test them out. That also helps me to know what planner might work for me out there or what Golden Coil I might want. So I keep every single Golden Coil, as you can see. They're like treasures to me. I pull them out and try out the layouts often. So this one was Monday through Thursday on the left and just basically a list form. So I was going to use this as my daily planner, really my daily list, because you guys know I do my daily lists in notebooks a lot, not in dated daily planners. And I have used a weekly layout from Golden Coil. You'll see it in this pile. I have used one of their layouts. We'll do it next. That as a daily list instead of my daily planner. It was my daily planner. So I still had my week view in my Erin Condren vertical to like see the whole week at a glance, but my daily list instead of in a notebook would go in here. So it was kind of like seeing my list at a glance for the week. And I thought this one might jive with me, but I didn't stay in it for this time. But that doesn't mean I might try it out another time and it might jive with me. That's Friday, Saturday, Sunday are on this side. If you choose to put holidays in your planners, they will show you on your preview. They show you in your preview where those holidays will go in your weekly layout and on your monthly layout. I always just pick the basic holidays, but they'll go on your monthly layout too. And then you have a little to-do list for the week there. So that was that layout. That is the way holidays look on your monthly layout. That's on this weekly layout, but every weekly layout will be different. You also might have noticed in some of mine, I'm not sure if I did it in this one. Here's the one that I was talking about next that I used. This one was so well used. I used this weekly layout as my daily list, and I used it for a long time. This one was really well used. I even put in a clear pocket from Erin Condren up here. Let's look in here. What was I saying? Now I can't even remember. I do have, once again, Passion Planner tabs on here. Let me show you the layout here. I don't have anything filled in. So in this one, I actually imported iCal dates into it. So those print at the top, But then like allergy shots, violin lessons, look at those. Those all print in there. Is that amazing, you guys? You can import what you want from your iCal, but just know that if you have holidays and then you have iCal things, that they can, stack up and use like 3 lines in your planner for that day. But for things that are reoccurring, like violin lessons or allergy shots, it might be a nice thing for you to have printed in there. It looks so nice. It's pretty fun to have something that personal in your planner, you guys. They have a really easy video on their site of how to do that. It was easy enough for me to follow. So you guys know if I can do it, anyone can do it. And then it also is reoccurring on your monthly layouts. Whatever those iCal events or Google Cal events that you put on there, they are on your monthly layouts too with the holidays. And this was before they started having Sunday or Monday start choice, or else it was right around that time and I didn't know about it yet because I still have a Monday on the monthly layout, but I always choose a Sunday on the monthly layout. And this year I put some to-do list pages, two of them in after every month. So after every monthly layout, I had some long to-do list pages, and then it was my weekly layout, which I was using as my daily in here. So we can look through some of the pages in here and just see. I love writing with thick inky gel pens on this beautiful golden coil paper. It takes everything so well, those thick pens, and just feels amazing. I love blue on this cream paper, as you can tell. But then I also used a really thin pen here. I think this was the Uniball Jet pen right here that came. There was my monthly list that came with my Hobonichi. And I was using here because you could click between red and black and blue really easily. So really, I mean, any pen you love works on this paper. So that was me in this planner. As you can tell, it was fully utilized for many months of the year. And I really enjoyed, I would say, using it as my daily list planner. This one probably worked the best of anything, of any layout, of any weekly layout that I've ever used. This worked the best for my daily lists because let's go to here. The left-hand side was for like my appointments or big things that had to get done that day. And this was just my overflow to do. Like, well, if I get these done, like my appointments and or my top 3, then it would be great if I look over here. But if not, and it was nice to be able to see the whole week. Now, Saturday and Sunday are not even with the rest of the days of the week. Obviously, you get a smaller amount of room, but it worked for me in here. So this was one of my beloved layouts for sure. All right, next up, let's look at this one. I always stick that year at a glance up front. This one is decorated fun because this one I was using, I put extra pages. I don't always use the extra pages I put, but I like to have them there. And I like their dot grid and their graph grid and their blank. So I usually have a mix in mine of a couple of each. This one, you guys will remember, I started using for gratitudes for the year 2023. And I used my Planner Perfect tip-in cards and Planner Perfect stickers and washi. I do have a Planner Perfect discount, and I also have a whole Planner Perfect playlist. I will link that down below. If you're going, Amanda, what is Planner Perfect? I want to know about this amazing artwork. I will link that down below. But then I would pick one gratitude from the whole week and put on this sticky note, which it's actually a sticky note box they have in some of their layouts. And that way it was supposed to be at the end of the year, I would read through all these sticky notes and just be able to flip and see these big moments. I did not do that, but I can go back and read them anytime I want. And of these type of things, it's always more about the process. It's about me reaching in every day and looking for that gratitude. It's about that process for me. It doesn't matter if I'll flip while I talk. If I ever go back and read them, it's really all about what I gain by focusing on the good and constantly looking for gratitude. So every night I would just write gratitudes in that came to me. If they overflowed to here, great. If they didn't, that's fine. And then I would look over the whole week and I would put standout things for me. That would be like my gratitude highlight of the week. And obviously I chose sticky notes to go with the monthly theme and colors of the Planner Perfect. But I really enjoyed doing this. I had fun with it, but I think I stopped after April because I moved on. I can't remember what I started doing with gratitudes after that. I only use things as long as they are making me happy and serving me. If they feel like I'm jailed in, like, well, okay, I'm done with that project, I don't have to do it a whole year. So I'm lucky in my job that I get all these planners to be able to plan and use. And so I don't have to have any guilt feeling over that. That is just one of the perks. But I loved this book. You know, you go back and look through something you did and you're like, I remember that. And I remember the joy it brought me each day. And decorating it for the month, I would just, when my Planner Perfect box came for the month, I would just decorate the whole month with washi and tip-ins and stickers. And that way I didn't have to think about it for the whole month. This was my gratitude. This was the layout I used for that. I didn't order it specifically for that. I thought I might use it for weekly planning, but it turned into being my gratitude for that year. Gratitude would go every day and then overflow to here on the right. And then if it overflowed here, then my sticky note would go here and my Planner Perfect tip-in went there. As you can see how that all fit in there well. So this was a really fun project for me. This one, I love this artist cover too, is actually the exact same layout I've already showed you. It was another content planner, another year in a content planner. So same thing, same layout. It's the exact same content planner layout that I've already shared with you. So we're not going to go into it. I did put a quote down here. You can pick from their different quote packages. They have different themes for their quote packages where you can get a quote every week. And they will show you where it's going to go in that particular planner layout. So some years I have put it down there and some years I don't because I just want it blank and like I want to be able to put washi down there or whatnot. So this was another content planner. And sticking on the theme of content planners, this beautiful cover, this was another content planner for a whole year. And they really are used up like for a whole year, except for this last year when I switched out near the end of the year to Laurel Denise. It's really, I just don't want to flip through to accidentally not show something that I shouldn't, but it is a whole year of content planning and serves me so well. And these beautiful books bring me joy while I use them. This one is a little bit different. Look at this beautiful, I think this is my favorite linen cover ever. I love the mustard colored linen cover, but this forest green with gold, I'm just all about forest green lately. This is a notebook I built. So I've only built 2 notebooks over the years. This one I built, this is stuff for my channel. So this is actually planning, notes, ideas, keeping track of things for my channel. I obviously have bookmarked different sections in there too. I have put different pages in there, but I cannot flip through it because I would be showing you, I don't want to worry, look at every page when I'm showing you. This I built specifically for channel planning and will probably last me a long, long time because I put a lot of pages in it. And most of those pages are just graph grid, dot grid, or blank, but just divided into sections for planning. And the reason why I would say build a notebook from Golden Coil is if you're building it for a special purpose and you want some of their special different pages in there and you just want something that feels like a keepsake and you're going to have and use for many, many years, it makes me excited to pull it out every time I use it. Erin Condren notebooks are great, but you can't choose all your pages. And it doesn't feel like a special keepsake notebook. Like when I pull this out to work, it makes me excited to work in it and it feels special. Okay, this is the only daily planner that I have tried from Golden Coil over all the years. It's the linen cover light blue. I love it. And I use this for a really good long amount of time daily planning. As a daily planner, I know this could get quite expensive and they don't have as many daily planner layouts as they do weekly. I think the most you can fit is 6 months in a daily planner, and that depends with how many extra pages. But you have a full page per day, whether it's Saturday or Sunday. And on your Sunday page, opposite your Sunday page is always a lined page, which is so nice because you could do draw out your week at a glance there for your next week. So you could see meals for the week or work times for the week or kids' schedule for the week. You could draw out your week at a glance, or it could be your weekly list. Whatever it is, you always have that extra page in your daily opposite your Sunday. And then you go into your next week. This is the layout I tried out: morning, afternoon, evening, meals, to-do list, and notes. And then you have a nice big header up there. I did pick a quote package. And in the daily, it goes on every other day. So just on the right side of your page. So that is a lot of quotes to read there every day. Something just kind of fun. But this is the flow of the daily. Mine wasn't always morning, afternoon, evening. Sometimes I divided those just by category, kind of like house, channel, and whatever else. And so, but I mean, how fun it is to have a really nice daily on nice paper. It's definitely a luxury. but this was a daily that I built and used. Okay, I think this might have been my very first golden coil ever, and I love navy blue, and I love the navy blue cover with the golden coil. It's just, oh, this one's special. You can put address things in yours, year at a glance, bucket list. Then I went in, I did 2 lined pages, after every month in this one. And this one was just Monday through Sunday on the left. And then list room, notes room, next week, looking at next week. I kind of like that. When you can just write your appointments for the next week. And this week without flipping, you can kind of see that. Ideas box. So I used this one and really, really liked it too. It's just that basic layout. Lots of list room to the right. And your basic layout on the left. A really nice layout. So this was my very first golden coil. And this one was around the beginning. It's a beautiful artist cover, once again. And I had tabs on here. Oh, I remember this one. Okay, yes. Each one I can kind of remember by the cover, but this one I wasn't sure. I couldn't remember what was in it, but then it jogged my memories. So they have different year at a glances. Some are horizontal, some are vertical. You could put them in for different things. Then this is the layout that I picked. And I had some Cocoa Daisy stickers at this time of year. So you'll see those in here with washi. And I really did enjoy this layout. One thing I had to wrap my brain around with this layout was that Saturday and Sunday are stacked. But the good thing about that is it gives you wider boxes here for Monday through Friday. And wider boxes for Saturday and Sunday. It's just they're stacked. And I actually got used to that and did not mind it because we do have less going on Sundays. It's always church, and then there's less going on, so it worked for me. And this was just when I was trying it at other times and redating it when I was done. So it looks like I used it for a good 3 months there. Anytime I go out of Erin Condren Vertical, it's always amazing. The only thing that I stay in for any significant amount of time out of Erin Condren Vertical has been these golden coils, or as of late, my mom agenda that I've been in for a couple months. So you can tell I love golden coil because it's pretty much the only thing I go out of my base like Erin Condren for. This would have let you divide up these 6 boxes into what do you want each one of those boxes to be every day. I didn't usually label mine. Like here I did anything out and then my one thing of the day, like if I only get one thing done. So it was really nice to have the boxes divided because any appointments or anything out of the house would be boom up top. And we generally wouldn't have appointments Sunday. So just looking across was fine for me. And then my one thing of the day, if I just got one thing done that day, one big thing, that was nice. And then you could divide up like channel work, housework, computer work or phone calls. So I really did like that layout too. Like I said, once I got used to the Saturday and Sunday being stacked. I liked it being a little wider. And golden coil is a little bit bigger than your typical 7x9 planner. It is 7x10 pages. So just a tiny bit bigger, but that makes a difference when you're planning in it. Okay, we've only got 3 more, friends. This one is a really relatively new one. It's when they came out with brand new covers this last year. They let me choose from a new planner with any of the new covers. And so I did something really interesting. I put these assignment pages, so they're supposed to be like for school or homeschool, but I put a chunk of them up front, like a really good chunk, because I kind of like this for a weekly layout. Not this side, but just having it flipped to this, I thought I would kind of love to see priorities, top 3 priorities, then my to-do list for the week, and then any like appointments or day-specific things. So I just thought at some time of years, if I want to play around with this at different times, I would like to play around with this layout. So obviously I only did like 1 week in there, but I have all these I can come and play around in. And then I put just blank pages, and then we go into the weekly layout that I chose in this one. And this one I started in September, the end of August to September. So the fun thing is about golden coil, you can start any month you want and end it anytime you want. So if you're someone who's like, I already know I'm going to be sick of a planner after 6 months, and I don't know that I'm going to want to be in this, I might want to change my layout, by then you could just build a 6-month weekly planner, and you could have as many extra pages in it as you want. You could have an extra page in between each week even. Some people do that for wellness, for weight tracking, for meal planning. They put an extra page in between each week, or for your goals and priorities. I've never done where I put an extra page in between each week. I have done it in between each month. But so this was a layout that I've never tried. And so I always try a new layout. And it would basically only hold like your appointments or your one thing for the day. And then you could also see your weekly to-do list at the same time without even flipping to the back. And possibly whatever you want here. It could be on a sticky note or not. And so I did use it for a little bit, for a couple weeks. And this is one that I might pull back out and play around with because I could see how it could work for me in that capacity with just seeing this side. This side is a continued to-do list, priorities, gratitude. And I like that this is blank. You could use it for meal planning for this week. You could use it for next week. You could use it for, your kid's work schedule for this week. So I like that this was left blank and not actually labeled to what to use that for. And you have 5 habits down there. So that was this new layout. And you can see here, if you have very small daily boxes and you add a holidays package, then if there's 2 holidays on a day, that is almost taking up my whole box. Of course, I would probably just write over that if I needed to, but that is just something to take note of. They will show you that when you build your planner. You do a complete flip through at the end of your planner and you will be able to see those holidays. You'll be able to see your quotes, any iCal events you put in. This is such a fun, bright, happy artist cover. All right, only 2 more. This is a beautiful linen, like wheat colored one. I love this one. On your nameplate page, you can put anything you want on there. Quotes, go crazy with it. You can put as many year at a glances as you want if you're using them for different things. And like I said, they have a couple different year at a glances. This year at a glance where you could put all your birthdays or travel or track your cycle or do just big appointments. So this is a cool year at a glance too. I put 2 of those to try to track like miles walked and stuff, but I didn't keep track of it. I'm not good at this. The only thing I'm good at is keeping track of my yearly habit trackers that are in my morning basket with my scriptures and everything every morning. And that's in all my goal videos. So reading, then we go into, I just had lined pages and blank pages up front, it looks like. And then this one, I was really trying to use as a daily instead of a daily notebook. So you can see why I have so much listed per day because it was trying to be my daily list and to pull from here. But it was just not ever enough room for me for my daily list is what it ended up being. So I didn't stay in this one super long. Then I started using it for journaling. And I would like journal a lot more over here besides every day. So that was kind of fun. I'll just pick it up and use it. I started using it for journaling for a good couple months. Yeah, and do a different color every month. And then I probably eventually went out of it. But this was just a lined page here, and that's why it worked perfectly for that journaling. I wrote straight across because the lines lined up. You could write a gratitude every day, something that happened, and then I would just journal a little bit every day or more on some days and less on others. So that was this year's. Okay, we only have one more. This one we're not going to go into in great detail because this one is in my video last week. This is the Golden Coil notebook that I built for my goal planning starting this year in 2024 and to be used for many, many years to come. So I put 20 year at a glances up front. And if you want to hear me talk about why, you have to go watch that goals video because I'm not going to go all into that here. And then here's some of my 2024 goal planning. And I talk all about it in that video, what project pages I put in here and how I designed this. We will see how this goes. I will definitely keep you guys updated. Obviously, you can tell I love Golden Coil. I am so grateful that they have worked with me so that I've gotten to try out all these layouts. It's a definite perk of the job. And I would love to hear your thoughts down below if you've used Golden Coil or just if you've wanted to try them. I'd love to hear if this video was helpful in seeing them all at once and how I've used them. So chime in down below if you are purchasing a Golden Coil. You still have a couple more days. My 10% off Amanda 10 expires on February 9th. And I forgot to say this at the beginning of the video, but they only have 2 sales a year. It is their Mother's Day sale, so that will be the next one coming up. And then their Black Friday, Cyber Monday for that, whole period time. They usually offer the same thing for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and the same thing for Mother's Day. It's always been 15% off. So unless they decide to change that, that is what it has been every year as long as I have followed them. So my code of 10% off is pretty good, not as good as their 15% off if you can wait for Mother's Day or the Black Friday Cyber Monday time. That is their only sales of the year, you guys. And that is that's it. So they have it on Mother's Day because they actually started this company when they were looking for a planner for their mom. It's a really cute story. It's two sisters who were looking for a planner for their mom for Mother's Day and didn't find anything that they thought like the aesthetic and feel of it, plus the layout that she would like to use or that would work for her. And they were like, why isn't anything out there like this? That we can't find a planner that we like for her. And that is where Golden Coil was built from. I just love that it was built around trying to get their mom a planner for a gift for Mother's Day. And that's why they always have a sale on Mother's Day. I love that so much. Also, it's a less busy time of year. At different times of year, I don't have them memorized when they drop new covers. And then at one time a year, I think it is kind of in the summertime, I can't remember, they drop new page layouts. So it could be new weekly layouts, it can be new extra pages. So they drop some of those every year too, and that's kind of an exciting time. All right, guys, thanks for being here. Have a beautiful week. Take care of yourself so you can take care of others, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.